Okay, blessings, everyone. I don't know. I might have to stop. Um, my computer just keeps shutting off. Okay, this is a picture that was taken by my husband in 2016. It was taken up north in Timmins, Ontario. Yeah, this is a bunch of beams. This is the weapons. This is, this is what we look like. He speaks for all of us. And this is what's going on around us. Now, I believe that when I was 12 years old, well, let's just start from the beginning here. Katie Groves and I have the same memory. This is a young girl that's on YouTube. She came on a few years after I had started my channel. And I got to know her a little bit, and I came across her video of her first memory. And when I heard her memory, it was my memory, but it was the opposite of each other. Real quickly, mine is I'm coming from the top of the landing and I'm running down these spiral stairs, and I get to the middle of the stairs and I look behind me and I take a look at what's chasing me real quickly, and it's like a black mass and it's shaped like a male. I know that if it touches me, I'm dead. I feel the hate that he has towards me. I mean, it's a pure hate. So I start running and I see these doors and I run out these doors, and it's like a bright afternoon, a crisp afternoon, and there's like a male and a female, a couple standing there with one of those old deep buggies, those baby carriages, and I run towards the baby carriage and I jump into it. Then this goes by me and I feel safe, and that's the end of it. That's the end of my memory. So when I look back at that, I thought, well, okay, this is letting me know that death is chasing me and that I'm safe. I'm a babe in Christ, And so I thought, okay, that's it. So then when I heard Katie Groves was saying that she was at the bottom of the landing. Her face was down. She turns her head. She sees her parents. They're fighting. And this black thing comes out from the parents and starts to come towards her and chase her. She also feels that if this thing catches her, she too will die. So she gets up off the floor. She starts to run up these stairs. She gets halfway up the stairs, and this Scotty dog comes popping out of her and grabs the fear. And that's the end of hers. So I thought, well, maybe this MK, the voice. And then I started to really go back into my testimony the night that I was saved, and the enemy that was in my head is no different than the voice that said hate, hate, hate. It is no different than the sound out there, that metallic screeching sound that also was in my head. The mosquito, when I heard the tone of the mosquito, the piercing, I knew right away that this was the enemy. All of these things were in my head when I was 12 years old. So this is definitely the enemy. The pain was so great, and I heard the voice say, do you want to live or do you want to die? And I wanted to die to stop the pain and to stop the noise, the loudness of it, the sound. And then I said, no, I want to live. I don't want to die. Jesus, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And then that's when I felt the presence just come in and just took it, all of it. There was no fear. There was no pain. was peace. He gave me peace. That's what he left me with. So I know now in the Bible when he says that he will keep you from the noisy pestilence at night. That's what he means. Don't ever remember the attack. I mean, to me, when I say I know Jesus, that I know him, it's because of this. My experience. That's how I know him. This is very real. And this is what we look like. So now I'm just going to go over and I'm going to read again something I think is very important that everybody is to acknowledge, and that is when Jonathan Nolan did that video and caught it. Oh, wait till you see this. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay, when the video came out and I was reading this, there was such a connection to the both. And it was just not last night, but the night before is when it really screamed at me. And I hope that you see what I see and bring your discernment to the table, because this is pretty amazing stuff, okay? So, again, this is from Alan Barker's Mental Firewalls. Again, this is really good material. The real-time idiot and the autopig. I need you to understand the autopig, okay? The term I use for an external voice projected into a victim's mind is the real-time idiot. For an illustration of what a real-time idiot seems like, consider a secret studio like a radio station. The DJs in this case are the rapist monitors who sit and listen to the violated thoughts of the victim. These torturers also have microphones where they can converse with the unfortunate victim in real time. The victim hears these transmitted voices in his or her head. Perhaps the rapist has also had a visual reality computer display of everything that the victim is doing at the time, or even a display of exactly what the victim sees through his or her eyes. Any thoughts the victim has, the real-time idiots try to pretend it is a conversation with them. You could not think a rhetorical question to yourself in your own private thoughts without a real-time idiot's comments. You could not pause for a minute of silence, mental reflection. They comment on things, they harass, they goad, they distract. They try to issue commands. They attempt to demean the victims. Go brush your teeth. This all while the victim tries to live his or her regular, ordinary life and interact in the phony society. At this point, I have described the techniques whereby Nazi pigs beam words and voices into the mind of the victims in order to harass and torture them. This requires too many low-level Auschwitz guards, though the dumb sadists may get drunk and start talking, or they might get religious and try to expose their former activities. The need for personal also limits the number of victims or subscribers who can be controlled by the system. The American answer, of course, is to the technology to automate the process and increase productivity. This results in the device I call the autopig. the Cameron DeLego Memory and Memorial Autopig. The Autopig is the simplest, is just a digital recorder that sends fixed messages to the victims at random times. This is very similar to Cameron's psychic driving torture that he inflicted on the people coming in for psychiatric health care. I sometimes call this random pulse Bergon pulse after. Okay, I don't know. In the story of all people were forced to be equal by handicapped those who exceptionally abilities and strong thinkers had to wear a device which would periodically emit a loud tone emit a loud tone designed to disrupt their thought process, their thought stream. Okay. Of course, an auto-pig could also be used as a computer aid torture device so that the single human torture could switch between victims. Securing is knowing that none of them was left alone in the private minds. Okay, that's... Okay. How many times does someone have to beam a clear external voice into your head before you have a question all your thoughts? Not too many times. Once, really. Some victims, one shot deal. And that was myself. Voice projected, mind control may still suffer for years. But like I say, the night that I was saved, they were in my head. And then I heard hate, hate, hate. And that's all. That was it. And it was done. It was done. Okay. Internal and external thoughts and sensory input. Okay, this is important. Connecting to the video that we're going to see with the two brothers here. So, let's see. Inside the mind, the torturer's victims really are human beings just like anyone else, even though they are treated worse than anyone would treat a dog. They see with their eyes and they hear with their ears, etc., have internal dialogues, thinking about things, sparks of intuition, and all of the usual features of the human mind. As mentioned earlier, these are the processes the mind controllers attempt to hijack. For the victims, we can consider that their thoughts fail or fall into three categories: internals, conditioned internals, and externals, and I would be the conditioned internals. An internal is a normal, natural thought grounded to external sensory input that the person consensually engages in. The usual thought model that most people have the luxury of believing is that all their interactions are consensual and that their private thoughts are actually private and not tampered with. That is, they are only experience internals. An external is non-consensual input, like Cameron's psychic driving, where a person is strapped down and forced to listen to manipulated recording loops. In the modern sense, the externals are the voices projected into a person's mind from an external source. The signal from a program autopig chip that's in the head will also count as an external. An external could also be an email for a Nazi that is based on mind rape data. Any normal consensual interaction becomes an external, which mind rape data as a psychological triggers are purposely embedded there. So I believe this is where I come in concerning all of this.